Sunday. I did it again. Okay, good day. As I fiddle with that candle, I nipped the wick a little too short. Good day, CJ, Sister Jeannie, and Brad. Hello, Brad. Welcome. And Denise, thank you for being here. Today is Sunday, December 29th, 2024. And so this coming Saturday again will be the first Saturday of the new year and the first Saturday devotion. So if you want to get together with me for that, you know the routine. Still hacking away with this cough, and it's fun. All right, we're going to do something a little different. I know I put down we're going to continue with the original Mass and what happened to that. But I'm going to do a little story based on what I was about Our Lady of Santa Croce. I looked up some things. Now, there is no such thing as Our Lady of Santa Croce yet. And so I wanted to see if there was anything close. But so I did found Our Lady della Croce, and which means della is of the, so it's Our Lady of the Cross. And there's a story related to how that came about, and I'm going to read that to you this morning instead of the continuation of the Mass. the history of the Mass and where it happened and what happened to it, etc. So let's begin with the Good Day Rising prayers. And again, I'm going to keep it short because my voice and my energy level is still not up to par yet. All right, we're going to... Also, it's extremely warm for this time of the year. When I say extremely warm, it's a few degrees above Celsius. And so that would be like 34, 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And I was just thinking about Celsius and Fahrenheit the other day, and I was like, okay, so Celsius decided to make the freezing point of water 0, the liquid, and Fahrenheit decided to make the freezing point of the gas water 0. So for those of you who aren't familiar with that cold and what happens at that cold, when it gets below 0 outside around here, Fahrenheit, you can actually see water vapor freezing. So most homes, when they're running their heaters, emit water vapor out their chimneys, and you can actually see it as white little smoke clouds, and it's clear. It's like, when I say clear, it's white. It's very, very, very white. It's not like a dirty smoke like from a furnace or whatnot. And usually when it's below 0, the furnaces are running or the boilers are running straight out, busy. So that's where you get all those cute, quaint pictures of New England towns with all the little white smoke coming out of their stacks. It's usually because it's below 0 and the water vapor is freezing. So that's your little useless bit of information for this morning. And yes, okay, Brad, I will add you to our prayers today for the sick and for the need of healing, and definitely. All right. Your will is there. That's what's important, okay? The body is very, very strong in its effect on the mind and the soul and the will. And so that's why we always talk about overcoming the body as best we can and with whatever means we can, and with the help of our Mother, Dea Matronam Nostrae, we can succeed. All right, let's begin with the Good Day Rising prayers. In nomine Dei Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. And for those of you who need to have your baptism done, please go back a few Mass videos where I discuss baptism and the practice and how important it is. You really should watch those. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 of them where it's understood that the intention is very important, as well as the form and matter. So let us place ourselves now in the presence of the Most Holy Trinity, and in Catholic contemplation humbly venerate the Divine Family. Most Holy and Venerable Holy Trinity, one Divine Family, I believe that Thou art here present. I venerate Thee with the deepest humility. I render to Thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to Thee. O Most Holy Trinity, I firmly believe that Thou art one God in 3 divine beings, Dea Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. And relying on Thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain pardon of my sins, the help of Thy grace and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum matronam nostrae. O most holy Trinity, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. O most holy Trinity, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of the most holy Trinitarian Theophany the graces which are necessary to us. O most holy Trinity, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Deum matronam nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian, O most holy Trinity, as envisioned by St. Lucia, as the most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum matronam nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. But most of all, because they offend thee, O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. All right, I'm going to have to read off my phone because this is where it was. My other phone. Okay. There is a sanctuary of Deum matronam nostrae on the Bergamo Road, about a mile away from the city of Crema, Crema, in Italy. The structure is a circular form with 4 additions of the shape of a cross, which give rise to the name Our Lady della Croce. The sanctuary is located in a place where in years gone by there stood a dense little wood called Il Novelletto. In the late 15th century, so that would be the 1400s, a young woman named Caterina Uberti lived with her brother in the city of Crema. When she arrived at marriageable age, her brother induced her to wed one Bartolomeo Petrobelli. It was an unfortunate arrangement. Caterina was good and pious. Bartolomeo was quite the opposite, tending toward the wicked and corrupt. The marriage was unhappy for Caterina and uncomfortable for Bartolomeo. His rather crude and brutal ways shamed her, while her refined and holy life was a silent reproach to his somewhat scandalous mode of living. So I'm just going to interject here is one of the reasons where you might see people who become very uneasy in your presence. This is one of the reasons why. So after a year of turmoil, Bartolomeo decided to kill Caterina. She was bothering him so much by her piety. Bartolomeo, having made up his mind, lost no time in carrying out his evil design. He suggested that they journey to Bergamo and visit his parents. She agreed, and in the late afternoon of April 3rd, 1490, they mounted their horses and set forth from the city, when they arrived at the wood about a mile from Crema. Bartolomeo then left the highway and rode into the forest. Caterina was puzzled, but not knowing what else to do, followed him. When they reached the middle of the wood, Bartolomeo dismounted and made Caterina get down from her horse. Then, without warning, he drew his sword, raised it, and fiercely brought it down, intending to split her head with one clean cut. Instinctively, she drew her arm up to ward off the savage blow, saved her head, but lost her right hand. The poor severed hand hung from the stump of her arm by a strip of skin, and Bartolomeo brutally tore it off and flung it to one side. He then slashed at her like a maniac until she fell to the ground in a pool of blood. Thinking her dead, he leapt on his horse and fled. Caterina was not dead, nor was she afraid to die, though she felt her time was short. With all her dying heart, she wished for the last sacraments. So she prayed to the Mother of God, Dea Matronam Nostrae, who heard her prayer. A glow of light pushed back the gathering darkness, and a beautiful lady approached her. Reaching down, the lady, Our Lady della Croce, took her by the arm and helped her rise. The blood stopped flowing, and new life coursed through her mutilated body. The lady bade Caterina follow her, but Caterina asked if she might look for her lost hand. The lady promised it would be returned to her in due time. Taking Caterina to a hut, she told her these people would help her, and then vanished. The kind peasants did all they could for Caterina, and the next morning they placed her on a rude stretcher and tenderly carried her back to Crema. As they passed through the wood, one of the men found the severed hand and returned it to Caterina. They took her to the church of Saint Benedetto, where the pastor, after hearing the story, anointed Caterina, who died there. The story spread rapidly. Some believed, others doubted that Our Lady worked such wonders. An 11-year-old boy living in Crema, plagued with an unhealable abscess on a foot, begged to be taken to the wood to put his foot on the spot where Our Lady appeared. His mother and a group of relatives carried him there, and he was instantly cured, all traces of the abscess gone. Many other sick and infirm came also and were cured, and the people erected a small chapel on the spot and placed it in a plaster image of Dea Matronam Nostrae, Our Lady. And more favors followed. Many offerings were made by the faithful, and in a few years a fitting sanctuary to Dea Matronam Nostrae was completed by 1500. Later, a fine new statue was enshrined in the sanctuary, and in 1873, Our Lady della Croce was crowned with a golden crown by order of the Vatican. Of course, they got to ruin it. But anyway, there's the story of Our Lady della Croce. It's interesting that it was happened in a wooded area, and we have woods here. Not that I'm looking for something like that to happen, but in any case, that's the story of Our Lady della Croce and how important it is to remember to call on the Mother of God, Dea Matronam Nostrae, and see the power that she can bring to make sure that you get the last Catholic sacraments. See, this girl knew how important that was for her soul. All right, let's begin Mass. As I'm losing my voice. Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention Greg, who you see here in the mornings often, Keller and has agreed, and we've been pursuing this for a long time, but looks like we're gonna finally get to do this. He's going to become a priest, so I'm very, very excited about that. So I look forward to keeping you updated with that progress. So please pray for Greg and his family as he begins to serve the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany. De vobiscum et quoque epote, oremus. O most Holy Trinity, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one most Holy Trinity, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum Hanc Immaculatum Hostium, quam ego indignius famulos tuus offeriti Deum eum vivum et verum, pro inimitabibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligencies meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed pro omnibus fidelibus catholicorum vivis atque defunctis, ut mihi edidis proficiat salutem. Deum qui humanae substantia dedinata mirabilita condidisia mirabilis reformasti, de nobis spiritus atque de ruinam mysterium eis divinitatis esse, consultes communitatis nostrae fieri dinatas es particeps Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui dignum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum deprecantes clementium utucas vetu divinae majestatis tuae, pro nostra et totius mundi salute, cum adoris suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu militatis et in animo contrito suscipiam rata Deum Iesum Christum, et sequiet sacrificium nostrum et consuetur tu hodie, uplacia tibi Deum matronam nostra et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Et sanctificite blata pro secundo, et accapere hoc sacrificium tuo sancto nomini prae paratum. Suscipe Sancta Trinitas oblationem quam tibi afferimus amorum passionis, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum. Et in honorem Deum matronam nostra et Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istorum Autonum Sanctorum, ut idis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere et in interim caelis, coram honorem agimus in teris per in Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meam questum sacrificium accetabile fiat Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nomini sui ad utitatem quoque nostram, totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum obiscum, et quoque pote, suusum corda habemus ad Deum, gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Dei ego clementissimi Mater et Pater et Deum Matrum Nostrae, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum Nostrae, supplices rogamus ac petimus. uti accepta habeas et sanctificas, haec sanctam sacrificium irribata. In primis quae tibi efferimus pro ecclesiam tuum sanctam catholicam, quam pacificari custodire honori et regere dineris tot orbi terrarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famulorum coetorum. And we pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Brad Fitzsimmons, Katie, Gage, RM, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Letitia, Mark Jr., Mindy, Henry, Barbara, and Benedict Santa Croce, Greg Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, Amble Tink, the Cantu and Duarte families, Micarla McLarnon and family, Sarah, Becky, Jenna, Lena, Lori, Aaron and family, Maria and the Lineweber family, the Kendrick, Dasco, Nari, Tafur, Wolf, Beacon, and Kane families. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sedevacantist Catholic Council office at Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, medium exchange with no usury. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society, as both priests and leaders in government. We pray that they take care of their health, become independent of big pharma, rely on nature, God's supply. We ask for a reversal of the feminist ideology and a return to godly femininity, that women cease working for Freemasons and corporations, and that they come to understand that raising of traditional Catholic families is the highest ideal and a necessity for sustaining peace and a Catholic society. We ask for the elimination of all quote-unquote gay marriage, all pornography, and the OnlyFans platform. We ask for the conversion of all sinners trapped in a state of mortal sin, especially the ignorant. We ask for the conversion of all members of secret organizations. We ask to destroy all forms of Freemasonry and bring the members into submission of the Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany through correct baptism and confession. All this we ask in accordance with the Most Holy Trinity's divine will. Et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fidis cognit est et nota devotio, pro quibus tibi efferimus, velqui tibi offrunt hoc sacrificium laudis pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum, pro spe salutis et ingula habitatis suae, tibique redunt vota sua, aeterno Deum vivo et vero. Communicantes et memorantes in primis gloriosae, semper Deum matram nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatorum martyrium tuorum, Papae Sanctae Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum, quorum meritis praecibusque concedas ut in omnibus protectiones tuae, uniam auxilio per innum Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblationem te Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus consecratem acceptavelemque feceri dineris ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat didictissimi Filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam pateretur recepit panem in sanctus aqua honorabilis manus suas, et elevatis oculis in caelum arte Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem tibi gratias agens. Consecravit, frege didique lumnis sui dicens, accipite et mandacati ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremony est accipiens, et hunc preclarum calicem in sanctus ac honorabilis manus suas, idem tibi gratias agens Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecravi, dedique lunis sui dicens accipite et bibite ex omnes. Hic est enim calic sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum. Haec quod est cumplificetis in memona faciatis. Unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sed plebs tua sancta justum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrae, tam beatae passiones nec non et ben feris, resurrectionis, sed et in caelos, gloriosae ascensiones. Offerimus praeclarae maestati tuae de tuis donis actatis, subra quae propitio ac sereno utur respicere digneris. Supplices te regamus in Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iube hic perferi per manus tuum ut quod ex hoc altaris participatione sacro sanctum Deum filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem sum senimus, omni sanctificatione caelestia gratia repaamur, per inum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for Richard Mullen III, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsistem et omnibum in Christum quiscentibum locum refugere lucis et pacis, ut in rogae est depracamur per inum Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hoc omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivibicas, consecratis et praestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est tibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea, matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum, sanctam tuum in mulieribus, Dea matronam nostrae, matram Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quaesimus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ab omnibus malis, praeteritis, praesentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata et gloriosa semper Deum matronam nostrae. Cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitius pacem in divus nostris. Ut ope misericordiae tuae aduiti et peccato, simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbationis securi. Per innum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum filium tuum Deum nostrum, qui tecum vivit et regnat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque pote. Haecum extio consecratio copris et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum fiat accipientibus nobis in et salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae cooperante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum per mortem tuam unum vivificasti, libera me per sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinem tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis et universis malis, et fac me tui semper in hadare mandatis et eternum cum separare permittas, qui cum eo Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum vivis et regnam aeternam, per ceptio copris tui Deum Iesum Christum, corrego indinius sumere praesimo non mihi proveni ad injudicium et condemnationem, sed pro tu pietate prosit mihi ad tutumentum mentis et copris, et ad me delam percipiendum qui vivis et reinas, cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. In panem celestem accipiem et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostrum non sundinius, ut et meis in tante de verbos nabatur anima mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sundinius, ut et meis in tante de verbos nabatur anima mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sundinius, ut et meis in tante de verbos nabatur anima mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid rotubum Deum Iesum Christum pro omnibus quae rotubut mihi, calicem salutaris accipium in nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis meis salvusero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet animam tuum. Quod sumpsimus Deum Iesum Christum punimente capiamus et immunere tempore fit nobis remedium sempiternum. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum quod sumpsi et sanguis quem potavi et heri et visceribus meis et presta, ut in me non remaniat scelera macula quem pura et sancta reficerunt sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei. Oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee, O most holy Trinity, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one holy divine family, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apotei, ite mise est. Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam, obsequium servitutis meae, et praesta ut sacrificium, cor oculis tuae majestatis in nos autoritibus et acceptabile mique et omnibus, pro quibus irut optolicit miserante propitiabile per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O most holy Trinity, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinity, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of Deum Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Thank you very much for everything. Good day, Charles and Greg. Thank you for being here and participating and praying. Most importantly, pray. Pray slowly and distinctly, focusing on each word sometimes. And in your meditations, do that as well slowly. Slow the mind down. And did some really good, very short, repetitive ejaculations, they call it, that are really good for intimate meditations, contemplations. And if you just find one phrase that you might like, and stick with that, and that would be very helpful in your peaceful, soulful pursuing of the beatific vision. All right, that's enough today. Let's go get some coffee. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Please go and sanctify all those you meet. So long.